Hello and welcome to Just Do It, a Dewey Brothers podcast. This is episode 15,
15.
season 5. It's a lot of episodes, big long season. Eric,
It
I
just keeps
am
going, man.
so glad you're here because we gotta pump out the podcasts. That's what the people need the podcasts.
Hey, we know the fans are just junkies for our podcast, and they couldn't last another week without it. So
Yep,
we're
I'm
we're
on the
doing
up
it
and
for the
up.
people.
I got beans in my rice, not on my toast. We're the back.
What?
Yep, the Woburn pad is it's coming together. The floors, it has internet now. The floors are mostly bare instead of entirely bare. How's your party pack? How's the party palace up in Potsdam doing?
Let's just say the bachelor pad is bacheloring. We got bachelor chow on the stove. We're
Oh yeah, but
we got the Stewies and the Timmy Hoes just out our wazoombas, you know. I mean,
hey, don't leave the stewies out on the counter. That's how you get ants.
that's how you get ants. And you know what? There's one thing that I hate right now, and that's there's this one massive housefly flying around. I've tried to catch him, but he's so large and chonky, he can barely like hit the ceiling because he's just way down. His wings aren't strong enough, but he still somehow always gets away from me.
Man, those houseflies, they are rascally boys. Just like our
I
main
think.
topic. Hey yo.
Oh wow, I was gonna say I gotta get the executive producer Bilo the hamster. Get right on that. Hopefully he can do a little fly hunting.
I don't
But
know if hamsters are. I bet he can hire someone to do fly hunting for you. He probably knows a couple spiders.
That's true. I mean, we also got spiders out the wazoo. They're hanging out in the hallway. There was one easily a quarter in diameter. Um,
Oh yeah, this is a spider friendly podcast we got
we
going on.
love spiders.
Yo, send us your pictures of spiders in the comments.
And that is why, for our main topic this week, we are talking about the Bultfontein Commando, the light infantry regiment of the South African Army.
Ooh, they are pretty cool, Eric. The last time I was in South Africa, I ran into those guys, and let me tell you, it took a lot of money to bribe them.
Oh, I mean, what? It was probably like 18 pesos.
It's South Africa, Eric. Come on. They use Africa dollars over there.
Oh, I forget. The Afrochange is
Yeah. Afrochange.
Yep. You know, they got some
Yep.
pennies and dimes and a quarter or two, but it's just all change. No, but I was gonna talk about their insignia. One of my favorite things in the world. It's some sort of bird. I think it's a roadrunner. I don't know. It's got long legs, but looks like a normal kind of bird. That's all I got.
Wow, what an inspiring mascot for that South African Army Light Infantry Regiment.
You know it. I mean,
They're fast as
I'm
a,
really
as a
sad.
small desert bird.
So what I'm really sad about, man, and I don't think I'm ever gonna, be okay after hearing this terrible news.
Yep.
But it was actually phased out between 2003 and 2008. Like the
Ooh.
commando unit is just gone. And in quotes, I'm gonna quote the South African president Thabo Mbeki and
Yep.
say because of the role it played in the apartheid era. And you know what? Good for them. Good for them for getting above that. However, bad on them for disbanding the Bultfontein Commando, easily one of my favorite top 2,000 commando units in the world.
Oh, easily in my list of top 2000 as well, Eric. They are we got a styling badge, and that's what we know about them.
Yeah, you got anything else? That's all I wanted to talk about today.
No, we're all good. And I fired the person we were supposed to have in to interview today, Eric.
You did? What are we
Yeah.
gonna do?
I don't know, man. I shot him right out of a cannon.
Yeah, I mean, I would too. Hopefully you fed him to a Kraken or two. We got to get the Kraken numbers up.
He's part of a new Kraken breeding program. We're gonna see how they like salt water.
Oh dear God! I mean,
yeah.
Krakens don't like saltwater, man.
Well, they're notoriously freshwater, but this
they're a
water's kind of
freshwater
brackish.
species. Okay, I mean, I've heard that they can survive in brackish water, but it's definitely not their forte.
I'm trying to get them in the water, in the brackish water, before the Charles gets too polluted.
That's fair. I have been driving down there to dump my trash in it. So.
Oh, you got to dump your trash in just below the dam.
Every Tuesday night, right below the dam. That way
All
it
right,
can go and be free. I mean, hey, I don't want to limit my trash to just any old can. I want to see the world. I actually am part of a local charity that, gives back to the sort of like impoverished trash, the local impoverished trash around here. So we take it, we ship it out.
Our guest this week, Eric, was actually a local sheriff with 60-something 10x9 glossy photographs of someone littering all over underneath the dam. So glad we got rid of him, because this could have turned into some sort of protest song. We're not about that.
Yeah, Canoe Guru, how much do I have to pay you for dealing with that guy? All right, $20. Nice. Oh, no, I'm good. I don't need any of those. Sorry, I was just talking with Mom. That's the one.
Oh, that sounded like Mom back there.
Yep,
yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think we got to do something. I mean, the people like interviews. The people like the interviews.
What if, Eric?
Else?
I got an idea.
Okay, lay it on.
Before we answer all of the fat cues that came in this week on the internet.
Oh, we had a lot of those. What if we did
some sort of breaking news segment? No, well, I edited in a news roll.
Dun. Breaking news with Dewey Bros. We're gonna work on the little jingle, but hey, it's two bros and they're breaking the news, and then the news gonna be broken. Da.
All right, you ready? Our first chunk of news this week, Eric, is hoplites in space. That's right.
Oh,
just in, SpaceX Inspiration 4 launched 66 pounds of Citra and Mosaic hops, and the mission reps are saying they're going to use that to brew an out-of-this-world beer. Well, good news, Eric.
What's the good news? I mean, that right there is good news.
I know, but Homegrown Hops has also started a cosmological new business tactic, Eric.
We are going to launch
up there? 100 kilograms.
Oh my gosh, that's like 34 more than these Tesla scrubs can do.
And we're doing kilograms for 2.5 times the pounds.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Old prototype. That's right, old prototype. Soyuz Mark 3.5 that we found in an old Russian bunker and bought off some guy named Semislav for an undisclosed amount of homegrown hop profits. But these hops, Eric, when they get back, they're going to make the craziest, most fantastic beer the world has ever known. It's the edge of space.
That's the thing, is the trick with this new stuff is the the old Soyuz rocket actually has a few holes in it. That way, the hops are really gonna like take on that nice space.
Yeah, it really lets the space in and the hops out, which is what we need.
Which is what we want. Ideally, like I don't want
steep them in the space.
Like the thing is, these SpaceX guys or ladies, we don't judge. They're going up there and they're just gonna brew a beer in space. Oh, whoop-de-doo.
No, they're gonna brew beer with the hops down once they get them back.
So, but like, they aren't gonna do anything special in space with their hops.
No.
You know, like that. It's just gonna be there and doing its thing. Whereas, hops take in so much flavor from their environment. So that's why at Homegrown Hops, they're going to actually get those hops out in space to pick up all the fun little particles and really just see what could happen. And
And
that's why
then we are going
I'm
to, this just in, Eric, get them back inside the airlock and in 0G for the most tender caress. Pay a cosmonaut to kiss every single one of those hops.
Oh my gosh, that is genius.
That's what's gonna make them taste better. The secret ingredient was space love. All right, this just in. Roman readers in Woburn, join the Friends
What?
of the Woburn Public Library right now. Let's be friends. You can email at gmail.com, baby. That's
Do they
legit. Please do not rename them. They're getting the word out about their many resources and services provided by the library, Eric.
the Dewey Commando squadron might just have to brigade them. All three of us.
Yeah, email Joanne, baby.
That's exactly what we're talking about. Alex, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Um,
Is there any? I'm out of news. Do you have any more news?
you have no news.
No.
Well, that's good because I also have no news. There is nothing new. Let me just look at this newspaper real quick. Yep, it's blank. We got a blank set of news. So that's right. Remember, hops in space and library. That's
Yep.
Ooh, what if we mix them together, Alex?
Friends, library with friends.
That's right. Oh, I got a new news story reeling in
This
right
just
now.
in.
This just in. Boop boop boop. Library in space with friends? So that's right. They are shipping up the entire Woburn library into space to really get that space taste and feel when you're sitting in the library.
You know what gets kids excited to read?
Zero gravity. Like, I mean, I know when I read, it's so hard to lift up that page every time, but in space, just a nice little flick and you're good to go.
That's why we recommend the Woburn Public Library puts its entire collection on the International Space Station.
And then also with friends. So if you ever want to sign up, just email Susan. She can get you into space real easy.
She got you. And what she'll do is she'll set up a reading time so the astronauts can read the books back down to you because again, all the books are in space.
That's what I like. That's what I like. All right. That's all it is for news. The ticker is done, and
all right,
we're
that's
out.
it. News over. All right, Eric. There is. I found only one big fat question, so we're gonna have to stretch this one, make the podcast run long. Okay. Are you over there stretching the podcast better than?
Yeah,
better than
yeah.
me?
I'm stretching it out, man.
All right.
I'm just a little bit to the right, a little bit to left. Oh, touch your toes.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh yeah. Yep, stretching nice and out. Right, executive producer Bilo? Oh, you're just pooping? Yep. That'll happen.
That's what
What's this
Bilo
weird?
thinks of this week's podcast. He's pinching a loaf in the corner.
Well, the thing is, I think the pooping is a good thing. He
Oh,
loves to
it's
poop.
nutritious.
So I think he's supporting this week's podcast.
Okay. All right, that checks out. Well, Eric, do you have any questions? We should probably lead in with that one.
I mean, yeah, I got just the big. Man, I got the biggest question. Why am I afflicted with the hiccups right now?
Oh, that's because you did not sacrifice enough to the snow gods. See, the snow gods over the winter provide snow. That's in their description. Over the summer, they provide hiccups, and you will be cursed to forever have low snow totals and also hiccups if you don't do the appropriate sacrifices. Did you forget leg day?
No, well, come on, you never forget leg day. But I did shave today. I did shave my luxurious beard, and I forgot to burn it.
Oh, can't be doing that. That's how they get you. That's why you got the hiccups. All right, Eric.
Oh,
I got one question right here from, let's see here. It says, "Hey, Dewey Bros, I love your podcast. It's your boy Steve."
Oh, I love Steve. We're back. We're back to Steve, man.
I went out to the model store 2 weeks ago, and when I came back with Tiger Cat orange paint, what I found was a disaster. My Skag was an X mark. Oh, I hate when Seth rustles my jimmies and also cleans my grill. What a monster. Help me, do bros. How can I re-prank Seth while he's at the Home Depot TM getting wood for his new railing?
Huh. I mean, that's tough. That's tough. Although I gotta say, I gotta give it to Seth. The man at least goes to the right lumber store. Personally, I prefer Dewey Bros Lumber Incorporated. We have some great wood supplies cut to all your specifics. Like we got our 2x3s, we got our 3x2s, we got a let's see, a 5x5. That one's a hot commodity right now. And then also the just tree stump. That one's nice. You know, pallets are cool and all, but tree stumps, that's what I'm talking about.
And for other more common sizes, we may not have at the Just Do It Wood Emporium, perhaps 2.5 by 1.5, or 5 centimeters by 8 centimeters. The common measurements. You need to go to Jesse's Sand Trap Emporium and Lumber Yard. Over by that other golf course, he's got the concrete bunkers, he's got the wood bunkers, and all sorts of natural and unnatural log products.
That's right. Our sponsors are bleeding into the podcast now, and I have no regrets.
That's a season 1 reference. That one's whew.
That one is way back.
That one's way back.
I'm surprised you pulled that one out of your Jimmy Jams.
I mean, I came by and he was selling all the important lumber sizes.
So Seth, what you're gonna want to do, right? No, it's Steve. Steve's calling us.
Yeah, well, Seth's going to get some wood for his new railing.
Obviously, Seth crossed the line. You don't mess with a man's model mower. Like ride-on mowers are the last sacred part of the American dream, and Skags and X marks totally different. That's like saying chocolate and cocaine. It's like they just don't, like, those are opposites right there. They just fight each other. It'd be like saying, you know,
I was gonna say those go great together.
The Boston Red Sox versus the Lake Monsters. It's just like it's such a rivalry that, like, come on, you can't, like, saying like, oh, I'm gonna switch that around. It's just cruel and unusual. You violated this poor man's Fourth Amendment rights, and I think you should be sentenced to jail for 18 long years while you think about what you've done.
So how do we get him back, Eric? How do we create a prank that is equally dubious?
Easy. You go to your local sheriff, report him for this heinous crime, and have him shipped away for the rest of his no good life.
The Fourth Amendment is unreasonable searches and seizures.
Which one's the
which I guess counts, but I think it's supposed to be the police.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure there's one about cruel and unusual punishment.
Oh. No. Definitely. Anyway, the fourth was the problem because he came in, he searched, and he seized your Skag and replaced it with an X mark, which is ridiculous.
Well, no, he seized his happiness and replaced it with absolute horror.
Hey, some people say the X marks do ride a little bit smoother because they're heavy and unwieldy. So
I mean, that's basically all they got going for them, and even then, they all bouncing all over the place, can throw out.
Really, a second-rate mower, just like the second-rate baseball team, the Red Sox. Okay,
but I got a great idea here.
Yo, what are you gonna do, Eric? How do we get him?
It sounds like Seth needs to rebuild his railing, right? Do you know what you should do?
Got a couple of cracked balusters. You know how it goes.
Do you know what you should do? He's out at the Home Depot. What you should do is fix his railing for him. That way, when he comes back, he'll have wasted his balusters, and he'll be confused. He'll think he's going a little crazy. But that's just one idea. And also paint it a different color. Just like paint the balusters like, you know, magenta. Whereas the rest of his house is yellow, of course.
No, you get whatever stain is in your garage and then replace his stain with that, and then use your stain on his front porch so that his front porch matches your house. Yeah, and that'll teach him. So you got to get in there and replace those balusters before he comes home with the lumber he needs to fix them himself. Yeah, I think he's going to put in a whole new railing, and that's overkill, okay? So you got to step up and prank him hard by just repairing the current railing.
That or completely demolish his deck, pick it up, and move it to the back side of his house or like the opposite side of the house. He'll
Oh,
come
that's good.
back. He'll come back and just be like, "Oh my goodness, my railing and deck is just what happened to it? It's gone." And then
No, better idea,
he'll walk
Eric.
around and then boom, just wow.
Move the deck after you replace the banisters, obviously, to the side that faces your house because they are neighbors after all.
Oh
That
yeah,
way,
of
when he
course.
comes home, he'll be like, "Oh my goodness, where'd my deck go?" And then he'll be like, "Oh my goodness, is that my slimy and well-kept neighbor, Steve over there? What is that? His porch on my deck? Oh my, his deck on my house? Oh my goodness! I mean,
Yeah, so I think that's what you're gonna want to do.
that's what
You're
you're
gonna
gonna have to
want to
do.
pull the old switcheroo.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna take your deck, which is obviously nice, big,
Yeah.
strong, just gets going every night. You have a beautiful, strong deck, and
Right,
you're
with
gonna
big
take
wide
that deck.
stairs too.
Oh yeah, you're gonna take that deck,
Place the stairs
just
while you're at it.
remove it from your house, walk over, drop it right next to where his normal deck and stairs are, and you're just gonna fit that in. So you're gonna pull the old switcheroo,
Mm-hmm.
replace his entire deck with your front deck, and then you're gonna take his deck and you're gonna put up, and then of
Upgrade
course
it.
fix the railing and baluster and
Right.
stain it correctly because that
That's
would just
great.
be yeah, that's genius. That or encase his entire house in concrete and say, "Screw you, Steve. Screw you, Seth. You violated my Fourth Amendment rights." And then,
To unlawful
ship him
search and seizure.
away.
All right.
Yep.
All right. It's close. It's close. Do either of those, but don't do Eric's.
Okay, yeah, don't do mine.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Eric. Well, it's gonna be a short podcast, but what you gonna do? You want to thank them sponsees?
Well, obviously we got to thank them sponsees. I'm thinking Home Depot. Better than Lowe's.
Ooh, that's a good sponsor. Glad we got them on. I gotta thank, of course, the Roadrunner for sharing its likeness with only the most disbanded of South African infantry regiments. Yeah.
Commando
Yep.
infantry regiments. We couldn't have done it without Slimislav and his wonderful 80s Soyuz
Mark
rocket that
3.5.
it's beautiful. It's a beautiful hunk of junk and we couldn't have done it without him.
This podcast is brought to you by Breaking News. That's right. This is the news that's so up to date. You wait to get it on Thursday morning with a Merlot. Breaking news.
And speaking of Merlot, we couldn't have done it without the wonderful and gracious support from Big Rose. That's right. They just released a new product called Merlot Rose. Wait, what? It's called the Mer Rose. It's like a Merlot, but it's actually rose.
Oh my goodness, that revolutionizes white women's Instagram everywhere. Bo Burnham in tatters. This podcast, as always, is brought to you by Homegrown Hops, the delicious space hops, the spaciest of all space hops, with the love of one cosmonaut's soft, tender lips and the cold, hard vacuum of space.
Oh yes, that's what we like to hear. Finally, we have to thank none other than the Dewey Bros Lumber Incorporated. They're selling all the wood you want. It's got lumber it's lumber coming out there, bazongoos. It's got a little bit of thing here, a little bit of uncut over here. Nothing but the knottiest, grainiest, untreated wood you can find.
Dewey Bros Lumber, only in metric. You get your metric lumber here. You want those 5 centimeters by 8 centimeters? We got them. Metric lumber. With the most knots everywhere. Just do it. Lumber secondhand store.
That's what we're talking about. Ooh, baby.
All right, this has been Just Do It, episode 15, season 5. I'm Alex.
I am the other Dewey brother.
Gotta say, thank you guys for sticking it out and listening to our podcast. And for the love of God, man.
Just send it. Oh, and final words from our executive producer. Yep. Okay. He
All
doesn't
right.
really talk because he's a hamster.
Oh, that's a hot, steamy one. He likes the pod, Eric. He likes the pod. Ship it.
He does. Then we're good.